Hey everyone, the Collector 27 here, coming at you guys with another action figure review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends Vision. Alright, so for accessories, he does come with two different sets of hands, two different pairs of hands. He comes with a set of fist and a set of open gestured hands, but they have two different kind of like expressions for them. One is a little bit more calm, and the other one is like he's trying to grab onto something. I will say for the accessory department of this figure, he is kind of lacking. I think maybe another set of hands would have been really cool, but then also a set of power effects would have been really cool, especially maybe an alternate head that has like a laser beam or like power effect coming out of the coming out of his head. Like I guess like in the MCU it's the Mind Stone, but in the comics it's a little bit different. But if there was like a power effect coming out of that, I think that would be really cool. Similar to how Marvel Select did theirs. So for accessories, I will say. Now, as for the paint apps on the figure, he does have some pretty clean paint applications on him. I will say probably the biggest selling point, let's see if I could actually get in here and zoom in, is this head sculpt. There is a bit of shadowing throughout it. I think it looks really good. You can see that probably a little bit better in the light. But there is a bit of shadowing in the crevices of his face, like his nose and eyes and his mouth. It's painted with a little bit of like a darker like maroon or like red to kind of differentiate the sculpt. I think that's really good. The face paint on mine came out really clean, and I like that a lot, except for this little scuff right here, but you could easily get rid of that because this is green plastic. So that's just paint that kind of bled over. But other than that, the paint application is really clean. As for the rest of the body, same here with the line work. Now I did get this guy in store, so I was able to look through the other two that they had, and this one had the best painted lines on his torso area right here. But again, this is a classic comic version of Vision. Let me zoom out here. So there's not much paint here regardless. I think it would have been kind of cool if maybe the cape had some like shading on it, but there is this kind of effect where because of the sculpt, like if I just leave it here, it does kind of leave a little bit of darker shadowing on its own. I think the sculpt on the figure is really nice, but I guess we could get into the sculpt right now too. It's pretty much just a reuse of the Vulcan body. Oops. The Vulcan from the X-Men. This is pretty much the new body that Hasbro tends to use for their like mid-sized characters like Vision. I believe they also use the same body mold for a classic Black Panther, which they also reused again for this wave's Black Panther, which I will not be getting because I already have the I think it was a Target exclusive, but I got that one and I'm happy with that Black Panther. Was it a Target exclusive? I don't remember, but it was a classic Black Panther, and they share the same body mold. And I think that, I think the cape sculpt is really good. There is paint for the, I guess like the rope, or like the part that's connecting both sides of the cape. But if you do know me, I do not really care for plastic capes, so I will definitely be upgrading this guy with a custom cloth cape in the coming week. Probably not in time to make the edit for this video, but if you do want to see that custom cloth cape coming up this week, make sure you go follow me on TikTok. Okay, so for articulation, if you have the Black Panther figure, which I will show off in the size comparisons, or if you have the Vulcan figure from the X-Men that first introduced this body mold, it is exactly the same. You do get all the pinless joints, which is really nice, but like I said, the articulation is pretty simple, so we can just run through real fast. He has a disc joint at the neck. He has butterfly joints, which go back pretty far. They go forward a good amount. I wish they kind of went forward a little bit more. That's kind of how I feel with all butterfly joints. It's the same on both sides. I will say the plastic quality does feel a little bit gummy or like rubbery. So I feel like this, especially on this bicep swivel right here, at least on my copy, I can like bend it back and you can actually see the peg in there. There's no like stress joints at all with it right now, so at least there's that. But it does feel like it's gonna pop off, which is kind of weird. Anyway, but his arms will go out that far. He does have bicep swivel, like I showed. He has double jointed elbows, which is nice. His hands will articulate out. It's the same kind of back and forth on both the open and the fist hands, and of course you can like swivel them because it's a peg. As for his ab crunch goes forward a pretty good amount. It will go back a good amount too, although I don't know why you'd want to do that. As for his legs will go up that far, which is not very far. Like, yeah, you can't really get him up any further than that. And I do notice there's a little bit of like, I don't know if that's like stress mark or like a little bit of chewing from like the crotch. I don't know what that's from, but now there's that line there, which wasn't there when I first got him, so I probably did that. But there's also a thigh cut here. He has double jointed knees. He has a boot cut, or like a boot swivel. His ankles will go down that much. They will go up, and of course he has some good ankle pivot, which is always nice when a figure has good ankle pivot. So there we go. Now we'll just get into some size comparisons, and then we'll go into final thoughts on the figure. Okay, so for the first size comparison, I will be comparing him to the Marvel Legends Black Panther, which uses the exact same body mold. You can see that the legs are the same. I believe the crotch is different though. Let's see if I can like move this belt out of the way. Yeah, I think. Actually, no. The crotch. It looks like I thought they were different, but the belt hides the kind of like wrinkle pattern you can see right there, which is on both. But what's funny is I feel like the legs, this is not a Black Panther review by the way, but the legs I feel like go up a lot higher on the Black Panther version, and the plastic feels more firm. This feels more like plastic than Vision does. He feels a little bit more rubbery on Vision. I don't know if it's just because like maybe Hasbro's green plastic is more rubber-like than their black plastic. I don't know, but anyway, they use the exact same body mold. You can see that they just replace obviously the boots and the forearm, from the midsection of the forearm to the hand, obviously, which is where you can also see that they replaced it from Vulcan to Black Panther. And if any of you are curious, no, I will not be getting the Black Panther from the same wave that Vision is in. Vision was the only one I really cared about. Black Panther looks cool with like the gold and black color scheme, but I personally like a more classic, clean look, and this one is better in my opinion. So yeah, oh my gosh, Vision just won't stand. It's because of the cape. This is why I hate plastic capes also. So I will be replacing that cape, like I said. Anyway, let's get Black Panther out here. Here he is next to the Marvel Legends Ultron. Ultron does stand a little bit taller than Vision. This is the one from I think it's the Super Villains wave. Who was the Build-A-Figure of that one? Not the controller. I don't remember who it was, but there you go. That's a good comparison there. And then we'll get our Marvel Legends Iron Man in here, and Vision scales well with all of them. Alright, so for my final thoughts on this figure, I will give this guy an 8.5 out of 10. I think he's a good figure. He's fun to pose. I think the gripes that I have with it are kind of minimal. I think there's stuff that can be looked past. I mean, again, the only gripes I really have with him are the lack of accessories. I wish he came with a little bit more, especially for a $25 figure. and that the plastic quality just feels a little bit rubbery. Doesn't feel as firm as other Marvel Legends figures do. Feels like the quality is kind of lacking there. I also don't really like the plastic cape, but I'm not going to take that away from the figure, just because Marvel Legends never does use cloth really, except in like exclusive ones like how they did for the Retro Beast figure with that lab coat. But those are very, very rare times in which we see a Marvel Legends figure with cloth. So obviously I was never expecting Vision to ever have a cloth cape. I personally will be upgrading it, because if you follow me here on YouTube or on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, you know that I usually replace all of my plastic capes with cloth capes. So I will definitely be doing that with Vision, like I've mentioned before. But other than that, I needed a classic Vision in my collection, because I did miss out on the retro version that came out a few years ago. So I think it's nice that Marvel Legends went back, redid one. I'm glad they didn't just re-release it, because that one was on the Sunfire body mold. I think the paint on that one was really nice though, because I thought the metallic green looked good, but this one is very, very classic, with the bright colors, which I don't mind at all, because that is going to look perfect on my shelf with the rest of my classic Avengers in their comic book attire. So if you need a classic Vision, I would say get it. If you are a huge fan of Vision, get it. If you are okay with your retro one, if you were able to get your hands on it, is this one really necessary as an upgrade? That's up to you. I mean, I don't know if I would have gotten this one if I had the retro version already. This one is nice. It does fit in better scale with the rest of the Avengers. But that's only a decision that you can really make. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, I like this figure, and I'm happy I got it, and it's going to go nice in my collection. Now I just need Hasbro. Hasbro, please redo a Scarlet Witch comic book style. It could be either like a super classic one or a little bit more modern, but something comic book with some nice magic effects, not the same reused ones, and then double jointed elbows and pinless. That would be perfect. That would be awesome. And then I can have her go with my classic Vision that I have now. So I don't think Hasbro will ever see this video, but if they ever do, you never know. Hasbro, remake a classic Wanda Maximoff Scarlet Witch. That would be awesome. Same thing with Quicksilver. I need more classic Avengers. But yeah, other than that, I like this figure. I recommend it. I think it's good. I saw it in store, I bought it so I could review it for you guys and tell you whether it's good or not. And I think it's pretty good. So if you just need a classic Vision figure, I'd recommend getting it. But yeah, guys, that is the review. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I do want to get my subscribers up on here, because we're doing really good on TikTok. We're almost getting closer to 14,000 followers over there. But I want to get my views and subscribers up over here on YouTube. So yeah, make sure you are subscribed, hit the like button, comment below what you guys think on the figure, or if you guys have any other figures that you'd be interested in seeing reviewed on my channel. Don't forget to also follow me on TikTok and Instagram if you haven't already. I will put it somewhere over here or in front of Vision. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.